A pair of one-point wins gave C.J. McCollum and the Hawks a 2-1 series lead. But in the last two, Jalen Brunson and the Knicks have imposed their will and look for the clincher in Atlanta. And later, this one should be some fun at Target.
It will.
The Joker and the Nuggets trying to stay alive in Minnesota. Two huge Game 6s on ESPN. Two potential closeouts, the Knicks in Atlanta, the Timberwolves at home against the Nugget. It's all going to get started here in about an hour. It's NBA Tip-Off. It's presented by AT&T and comes to you, as always, from Studio J here in Atlanta. Ernie Johnson. Charles Barkley got a new suit on. He's here tonight. It is.
Is it?
Kenny the Jet Smith.
Oh, hey, man. Hey, be careful. I don't want to pull a thread and the whole thing come apart.
No, it's a good look. I like it.
Thank you, brother.
I like it.
I hate when stuff. What now?
That's a new suit.
I can't
It
remember.
is. That is a new suit.
I think it might be.
new.
Yeah.
It's new.
You look like a preacher.
You know, I'm not gonna make fun of preachers. I don't want the internet mad at me like they did Drewski. Reverend Ike.
Going to be fun. These two great games, and also on this show, really looking forward to talking to DeAndre Jordan, the winner of the best teammate in the league award. He's going to be joining us just a bit later. But first, let's get into this opener of the doubleheader. Now, we mentioned it the other night, but it bears repeating purely for how bizarre it is. The Knicks, who've been in the league since day one and have 213 playoff wins and a couple of titles, had never had back-to-back playoff game wins by at least 15 points until now. As a result, they're a win away from knocking out the Hawks, but they'll have to do it on the road. Lisa Salters is in downtown Atlanta as we get set for Game 6. Lisa, what do we need to know before tip-off tonight?
Well, I have an update for you on Josh Hart. Josh Hart, he will play tonight, Ernie. You will recall that he got banged up in Game 5. It was in the first quarter when he fell right beside the Knicks bench. He ended up staying in the game, but ultimately in the fourth quarter of Game 5, Josh Hart went back to the locker room with about 6 minutes or so to go in the game. He went back early to get treatment. He did not return to the game, but the Knicks had the game in hand, so he didn't really need to return. He was questionable, though, coming into tonight's game because of a lower back contusion. That's what they are calling it. And Mike Brown actually told us that he wasn't sure if Josh Hart was going to play or not. He was actually starting to game plan as if Hart was going to be out, but we just got word that Josh Hart will play tonight. Now, as for the Hawks, they had a lot of energy at their shoot-around this morning, Ernie, and Quinn Snyder said that his team had a lot of juice, and that gives him confidence that they have the right mindset coming into this potential elimination game. He said yesterday's film session was a rough one, that there was a lot of truth-telling. He had to be honest with the guys to let them see on the tape that, look, we didn't defend very well. We weren't aggressive. We didn't look locked in. And Snyder said he was, maybe concerned that they would lose confidence to think that we can't do it. But he said they didn't take it that way at all. That shoot around today, they were full of energy and looked really good. And I asked C.J. McCollum, I said, C.J., you had just 6 points in Game 5. What adjustments do you need to make? And he said, I think that I'm going to play better tonight. I think our entire team is going to play better. He said, in fact, I know we're going to play better. And I said, C.J., how do you know that? And he said, I've been here before. This is an elimination game. And he said the cream always rises to the top. What do you think,
Lisa
guys?
Salters, hey, thank you. Great information. We appreciate you. To C.J. McCollum's situation, yeah, single digits. He had 45 games in a row of double digits in the playoffs. That was snapped the other night. And you talk about energy and juice, man, they need some of that after the last two games.
Well, C.J. has been awesome, but it's really up to the young guys. They got to step up. They have not played up to they shouldn't have that guy at his age having to carry it and bring the energy for them young guys every night. We need Jalen to pick it up. Jalen has been terrific all season. I mean, CJ, he had one bad game, but these young guys got to step up, man. The Hawks have had a phenomenal season, but you can't count on him. But it's time for the young guys to step. You're not young at this stage of the season. Daniels needs to step up. And Kenny knows this and Shaq knows this. When the season starts, you young guys, you played basically 100 games now. No more excuses. We're not young. This kid here is going to be a superstar in this league, but he's got to set the pace. Yep. To me, it's all about pace with the Hawks.
Yeah, you saw those numbers on Jalen Johnson, all of them down across the board from what he did in the regular season when he was sensation. And so goes from 22 to 19, and you can see that everything has dipped. And so, does he have it in him, Shaq, on this night to save the Hawks' season?
I think he does. I need from him what Banchero did last night. I need a 45-pointer. Kenny has said it many times, this is where you make a name for yourself. 3 things for the Hawks. Can they stop OG and Cat in the paint? Because they've been getting killed in the paint. Can they hit some threes? They shot the 3-ball very well. They're not shooting well. And again, I need a young fella to have a game like Banchero had last night. You want to become a superstar in this league in the future, or you want to become a superstar in this league tonight? If he can have a big game and they can stop OG and Cat and hit some shots, they have a shot.
His season high is 43 for Jalen Johnson. Let's just take a look at the comparison between what the Knicks were able to do in the last 2 games. Because it's been, Kenny, as it says there, domination. And, I mean, winning those 2 games by 45 points, and then all those departments in which they have owned the Hawks.
Chuck alluded to pace. That's a big thing for the Hawks. But the second thing was defensively, they were intimidating in the first couple of games with the New York Knicks, meaning their size and length on the perimeter bothered Mikal Bridges, the size, Josh Hart, the length, and at times, timely stops, Jalen Brunson, the size and length. They haven't put that type of pressure on them. But at the end of the day, they have to score the basketball other than C.J. McCollum. And those 3 guys, Dyson, and along with Kuminga, along with Jalen Johnson, if they don't score the basketball, they will not go on to Game 7. They have to have, between the 3 of those guys, they have to have 80 points between those 3. And then CJ can get those timely or game-winning type plays. But if they don't do that, and you rely on him to try to get 30 at this time of his career, I think it's too much.
So CJ's really the only player they got one-on-one player. Mm-hmm. The rest of the guys have to get it by space and pace. I'd say, I'm going to throw a number out there, 105. The Hawks got to get to 105 if they're going to – they got to get to at least 100. But for them to be successful, they got to get to 105. If they score less than 100, they're not going to win, because that tells me the pace of the game was more the Knicks. And the Knicks got 2 good half-court one-on-one players. Jalen Brunson can get his anytime he wants it. He's coming off his best game of the series. They don't have a matchup for Karl-Anthony Towns. So they have 2 guys who are going to score most of the time. But the Hawks only really got 1 guy in the half court, and that's CJ. But if Jalen can get the pace going, that gets Kuminga going. So I would say that's my number, 105.
And Alexander as well. He's another guy who.
Nikhil.
Yeah, but he needs to be playing at a pace also.
Yeah, New York leading in fast break points in this series over the Hawks. And also, rebounding has been a big thing for the Knicks. They're +8 per game over the Hawks. As we hear so often, Shaq, like, Atlanta's not going to get any bigger between now and tip-off. So how do you try to limit the damage on the boards?
Chuck makes an interesting point. 1, speed the game up a little bit. And 2, you got to hit shots. You got to hit shots, make sure New York is taking the ball out. Cat is playing well. OG's playing well. Atlanta don't really have a lot of big players. But listen, today it's win or go home, our old TNT slogan. So I'm going to be watching tonight. Everybody's going to be watching tonight. The Emory Eagles going to be watching tonight. I'm anxious to see what Atlanta's going to do tonight.
And Ernie, let me tell you something.
Tell me something, Chuck.
Let me tell you something, man.
Tell me.
The coach can only do so much. Like,
please don't start going down there.
No.
Please.
No, I understand that, but I'm talking about, I want to make this point about the rebounding. At some point, you as a man says, you know what? I'm not getting the rebound, but you're not going to get it either. Mm-hmm. You have to box out.
Was that always your philosophy?
if I wanted to get every rebound, but if I wasn't gonna get it, my man wasn't gonna get it. If I have to, you have to, because the two most important stats are rebounding and turnovers. But you throw those stats out there about the rebounding. Coach can't. That's just effort. Like, box out, do whatever you got, hold the guy, hit a guy, whatever it takes. You can't get dominated on the boards. This is the season on the line. You can't get dominated on the boards. And hey, listen, and that's just mano a mano.
Hawks haven't won a series since 2021 to stay alive. They need a win tonight and try to send this back to the Garden in New York. For a
Amen.
Game 7.
There we go, Ken Drew. I sent in your hall. That was such a Freddie.
The minister thing. I'm
Freddie.
knocking back and
Look like a preacher, Ernie. Stop sticking up for him. It's not
Come on, man. Freddie, you got to take a bite.
Help me out, Emery.
Well,
Say it.
well, if the Hawks is better.
One more time.